Hello, what's up guys, it's Kyle from KGR, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Figma Yugi. Now, it's the 20th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy freaking crap. So Max Factory is all like, you know what, let's make a figure. And holy crap, it's freaking amazing, I love it, and I cannot recommend it enough. But that's not a review. I gotta actually go in depth and stuff like that. Now this figure came out in the beginning of June, and I just got my hands on it. I know I'm really late to the party, there's already plenty of reviews out there, but it's time for my take. Alright, let's get into it. So when it comes to the sculpt and paint job, I gotta say, it is absolutely amazing. Like, I absolutely love the wrinkles in, like, the shirt and the leather pants. And there's no wrinkles in the leather shoes, but I wanted to say leather shoes, so... leather shoes. Anyway, so, yeah, he looks absolutely great. I love the belt. Well, should I say two belts? Like, the deck box belt. I always wanted a belt like that, but alas, I don't think they ever made those. But the paint job looks absolutely incredible. It looks absolutely flawless, honestly. Like, I haven't seen any screw-ups or anything. When it comes to Max Factory and they make their anime characters, they're always absolutely flawless. No, sometimes there's flaws, but they do very, very good jobs. When it comes to the humanoid characters, however, most of the time it's a bad job. But Leonidas from 300, they did a pretty good job with that. But Yugi, when he was announced, I was so excited, and when I saw a painted prototype, I nearly cried. Not gonna lie. And now I have the figure in real life, and I cannot stop fangirling inside. Like, this is seriously a beautiful figure. He's really scrawny, so it's not the figure's fault. I'm just saying as a whole. But oh yeah, the hair. I cannot mention the hair. Like, holy crap. Like, the hair looks absolutely great. I'm really happy with the way they performed this. From the back, it looks like a red supersonic, but overall, it looks absolutely great. Like, Max Factory has done it again. Damn, Max Factory, back at it again with them awesome Figmas. I know that was a freaking terrible, terrible joke, but you get the point. It is a beautiful figure, beautiful paint job, beautiful sculpt, and let's get into the articulation. So we got a Figma joint at the neck, so it can go forward and back. It can also go side to side, and it can also do a 360. So if you want him to be, you know, the poltergeist or whatever, there you go. We got a double ball peg at the shoulders, so they go forward and back. It goes out, and it doesn't go out much. It goes out a little bit, but not not a whole lot. I apologize for my throat, by the way. We got a Figma joint right at the elbow, so it goes forward to back that much. You can try to make it act as a bicep swivel, but you got a lot of resistance though, so I don't really recommend trying to move it side to side. It is more of a just move it forward and back and then just move the whole arm. But if you want to try to make it act as a bicep swivel, you can. You're just gonna have to put in a lot of effort. Then we got a ball hinge at the wrist, so it goes forward and back, and then also swivels left and right. Then right down here at the waist, we got a rocker right here. I think it's like a ball peg, so you can play with that if you want to. Yeah, rock on. Okay, then we got, I believe it's a double ball peg, and it holds on to both sides for the legs or whatever. I know, such a good review. It goes forward and back pretty well. Not too much resistance. Over here, you're going to have a little bit of resistance, however, because of the belt. But you still can make him do some action poses, but Yugi's not known for that, so I don't know why you would do that. But still, you can get him in good dynamic poses, so you're set. So we got probably about 120 degrees bend at the knee. So it's not a double jointed knee, which I normally like those, and same with elbows. But with Figma, the way they do their posing and stuff, it's more realistic compared to double joints, and they look a lot more attractive. And here with Figma joints on the knees, like they're always hit and miss. Like, they go with either really big, ugly joints that you'll see on, like, the Figma Kirito, both regular and the Gun Gale versions, or they go with small ones. And luckily they went with the small ones, and it looks so much better, and I'm really happy with this. It looks absolutely beautiful. And then at the ankles, we also got a rocker, so they go forward and back, and they also go side to side. Now, when I first unboxed this figure, the rocking left to right didn't want to work at first, so if it happens to you, don't worry, you're not alone. Just be careful with it, play with it for a little bit, and then once it starts moving, then sweet. It doesn't seem to move left and right too much, however, so don't try to put too much pressure on it, but it's still there. Every Figma comes with accessories, and Yugi comes with a great share of accessories. First of all, we got the Millennium Puzzle, which this thing is so freaking tiny, and I apologize for my camera not autofocusing. Hold on, give me a minute. There we go. Now, they did a pretty good job on putting in the detail on it, but like it does look kind of weird since it's so tiny, but still they did a fantastic job on the detail. I think it's mainly the front that looks somewhat weird because, again, it's so tiny, but they still did a fantastic job. And I love how they went with the real chain. Because here, PlayArt's Kingdom Hearts figures, they used to have real chains for their keychains on the Keyblades, but now the PlayArt's Kai don't do that anymore, which irritates the hell out of me, and they're even more expensive, so what the hell. So the fact that they're going with a regular chain, like, that just makes me so happy. We also get the dual disc, which is actually on a separate a separate forearm. Because I always wondered, how the hell are they going to get this on there? And I gotta say, they did a really good job. And the detail on the dual disc is absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to go with the manga style, where they had the graveyard part just all silver. But no, they kept it to the anime, and I'm really happy with that. And it also, I don't know how to talk. It almost matches the real dual disc that you can get for yourself, but that real dual disc isn't 100% accurate to the anime. But this is absolutely great. And there you can see the deck right there, and they got it really accurate to the anime as well. I was almost disappointed that it wasn't accurate to the real cards, but this is an anime figure, this is an anime character, so we want to keep it as anime accurate as possible. So I'm really happy that they kept it at that. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. This is so accurate, and I love it so much. And it makes me happy knowing that I still have my dual disc. So if I want to pose with Yugi, we could both be rocking a dual disc. Yeah, buddy. We also got Yugi's jacket that he uses as a cape. Now this plugs into his back, and normally with accessories like this, they have like a clear thing coming down from here, and then they have a clear peg for you. But they decided to give him a peg right there and then a hole right there, which I like that a lot more, to be quite honest. And here, heads up, the Figma stand peg doesn't go into the hole all the way, and it can fall out kind of easily too. So don't force it all the way in, and you don't want to break your peg. So that'll be a no-go, but yeah, still, it fits in pretty well, not gonna lie, but it does pop out of the stand sometimes, so be careful. We also got these itty-bitty cards. They are so tiny and adorable. This one, here, the certain hands that Yugi can use to hold this card, sometimes it doesn't hold on to it very well. I'll show you which hand in particular that it has a hard time holding on to. Yeah, you might lose this really easily, so just a fair warning, be extra careful. And here on the other side, they put a little bit of detail into the card. I wish they would have made it into like a Dark Magician or something, but it still looks pretty decent, I guess. Like, it looks more like a real card, to be honest. I'm not sure like how the Japanese versions like of the show like made the cards look, but the American versions were meh. And God, my fingers look gross. They also gave Yugi a full hand of cards, but they only put a little bit of detail into one of the cards, which looks meh, I guess, but you're mainly paying attention to this side, and they did this side pretty well. I kind of wish they would have put more detail into the cards, but oh well, I can live with it. Alongside the fists, we also got a tree of hands. We got some open palms that look pretty decent. We got some holding things hands, like gripping hands. It's mainly to hold the Millennium Puzzle. Or if you want to have them steal the Master Sword for some reason, then you can have them do that. Then we got card holding hands. And then we also got a hand that holds one card in between his fingers. This is the one hand that has a hard time holding on to the card, so be careful with that. And a pointing finger. Yugi also comes with extra faces, so before I show that off, I want you to pay close attention to his face currently. You can see he's smirking a little bit, but it is kind of blurry, so I apologize for that. Give me a minute. There we go. Alright, he's looking forward and he has a little bit of a smirk. Pay attention to the eyes, because here, this Figma has a little bit of awesomeness to it. I know the Leonidas from 300 did this as well, but this is the first anime figure that I know of that's done this in the Figma line. Anyway, here's the extra face. You can see he's a little bit more serious, and he's looking to the left. Okay, but here, normally with Figmas you have replacement faces, but now they're starting to introduce replacement eyes. So all you gotta do is just pull it out, and then slip in another set of eyes, and then he'll be looking in a different direction. and he looks absolutely great. Sometimes there's a little bit of gap between the eyes and the face, like going in and out, like the depth. So depending on your lighting situation, it is gonna look kind of awkward. He's gonna have a lot of shadow over his eyes, but as long as you press him out nice enough and you make sure the face is really nice and firm into his head, you're probably not gonna suffer too much from, I want to call it shadow eye, but overall, it does look really great. It does look a lot better in the Good Smile pictures, I'm not going to lie. But as long as your lighting is pretty good, you're not going to really see much of a difference. It looks great. Replacing the face isn't too hard. Doing it the first time is a little bit scary. I did have a little bit of difficulty trying to do it the first time. But after you do it your first time, it does become a lot easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to pull on Yugi's yellow part of his hair. I recommend pulling from the top. You do want to be extra careful. Just wiggle it a little bit. Alright, be careful. I'm sorry that my hairy hands is in the way in the videos a lot. But I'm trying to fix it, I promise. Okay, there you go. Pull that down. And then you also pull from the bottom, from the face, and on the top as well. Get a nice good grip. And, oh, that's the first time his eyes have stayed there. Holy crap, that is creepy. I'm not going to lie. So, you pull that out. And then you get your extra face. You're going to have this serious face looking to the left. Plug that in right here. And then you simply plug the hair back in as well. And, oh, the face fell. Oh, I'm sorry. Take two. Okay, so we're going to plug it in. Get in there. Thank you. Okay, nice and firm. Firmly grasp it in your hand. There we go. Now that looks really good. Getting the Millennium Puzzle on, easy as dirt. That's a terrible analogy, but okay. What you gotta do is just pull off the head and just be careful with it. Be careful. There you go. Alright, now we got a decapitated Yugi, so if you want to put that on a pole somewhere, you can. So you're like, hey, I beat the King of Games and I took his head. It's actually pretty freaking dark. Holy hell. Alright, so then you gotta take your Millennium Puzzle and you gotta simply just put it over his neck. Alright, make sure it's on there nice and even. Okay, make sure the eye is staring through your soul, you know, children's card games and Illuminati and stuff. And then you're going to want to plug the head back in. You want to be careful with the chain, because when you put on his little cape, then it does become a little bit more sensitive. What's the best way to describe this? Here, the chain can get caught onto like the sides, and if your Millennium Puzzle isn't on perfectly, then it's not going to sit all that well. But just be careful, you'll be fine. And now let me show you how to put on the cape. It's really easy. You just take your cape. There you go. Here you're going to want to take off the head again. Oh no! Millennium Puzzle fell off. Alright, so anyway, well, you put this on. Put your left leg in. Then you take your left leg out. You put it back in. Then you shake it all about. Alright, oh, there we go. See, now it's trying to play with us. So, let's try holding it down with our finger. Okay, so it holds its place. And then you want to put this over and then put the peg into his back. It's not going to go all the way in, but put in a decent amount of pressure and it will hold its place. And it does look pretty sexy. However, it does make Yugi a little bit top heavy, I think. So you do want to be careful with that. But if you're going to be posing him, I do recommend having a stand, because stand's freaking awesome. There you go. So now you got Yugi rocking it. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. There you go. He's looking like a badass, having wind behind him at all times. Because I never really see him all that much, you know, with wind not behind him. So it just lays on his shoulders like that. Freaking, I don't know how to talk. Let's just keep going. Putting on the dual disc. This is honestly the most challenging part, like, for the whole figure. Because here when I was pulling it off, here it would take out the figma joint, and pulling that out from the forearm is a pain in the ass. You want to make sure it stays into the bicep. So what you want to do is, before you pull, you want to make sure like your thumbnail or something is like pushing against the against the bicep. So when you pull, that stays in the bicep. So putting on the dual disc forearm will be so much easier. There you go. Because when that joint is stuck in here, it is not fun getting out. Okay, so now we're done with this arm, and we take this and we put it into there. Now you do want to be careful with this thing. it might break on you. It doesn't feel too fragile, but I get scared plugging it in. And I'm not sure if this is just my figure, but I noticed when I plug mine in, it doesn't look like it plugs in all the way. But I think they did that on purpose, so like the dual disc, like, well, at least the elbow bends easier, so it makes the dual disc look even better. So yeah, if you look right there, hopefully you can see it doesn't look like it's all the way in, but I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose because I was trying to force it in more, and it was scaring me while I was doing that, and it wouldn't go in any farther. But if you notice, it looks so much better like this though. And I also noticed that if you like somehow mess up with the peg system and the whole arm comes off, there is a separate piece that looks like it's supposed to be for a shirt, and it's gonna fall out, and it's gonna make the the shoulder look really awkward because you see the double ball peg. And then I saw this black thing like just sitting on the floor. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm pretty sure it's part of my Yugi, but I don't know which part it is. But eventually I figured out what it was. But as you can tell, he looks super great with it, but he also needs a hand. So let's replace some hands. So replacing the hands, it's just as simple as any other Figma. You just peg it in and stuff. Alright, so what we're going to do is here, Yugi also comes with cards, so I will be showing you how to put those in. Again, it's relatively simple. Also, you pull it out. There we go. Plug it in. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, he also comes with a stand and Figma baggie, like all the other Figmas. And normally he does come with a replacement peg for his hand, but it didn't come with it this time. Kinda weird, but then again, I never really break mine anyway, so well, whatever. But still, it's nice to have a replacement piece sometimes. So what we're going to do is here, we got the two sets of cards. We got the hand, so we're going to put that, you know, with the dual disc, because, you know, it's kind of accurate. There we go. And he holds on to it decently well. It's not going to be slipping out anytime soon, and as you can tell, it looks great. And then we also got the other card, and here, the hand that I went with is the one that kind of has a little bit of trouble, but it does look great though. It's where it's like he's holding it in between his fingers, like so. There we go. Yeah, he has a little bit of a hard time keeping it in properly, but when it's in, it looks great. Getting Yugi onto the stand while the cape is on is a little bit of a struggle, but before you do so and you have any cards in, I recommend, especially this hand, I recommend taking the cards out so if you struggle, the cards don't fly everywhere and you don't lose them, because these things are extremely tiny and it's going to be a bad time trying to look for them on the floor. So what you want to do is, first up, you want to make this peg upside down, because that's pretty much how it fits. Alright, and then you're going to want to stand Yugi in there, plug it in a little bit, pushing it in from the top. Again, don't push too hard, but make sure it is in there. Alright, then adjust it, do whatever. But he is going to pop out quite a bit, so you're going to have a little bit of a bad time trying to pose him. But when you do, there you go. But to be honest, it's more of just a support for the cape. Like, Yugi can pretty much stand up by himself really well. And even if it's not into the stand all that well, you can balance it. It'll be okay. Sort of. I'm talking out of my ass. It looks great from my angle, but on camera, it looks freaking terrible. So let me adjust it a little bit. Again, let me try to get the peg in nice. Well, there we go. There we go. Alright, so, God, this, yeah, putting him into the stand is not a fun time. Alright, so let's put the cards back into the hand. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, it looks. God, get in there! Card, I'll kill you. I'll burn you. You know you're not cardboard, plastic. Playing on plastic cards. Rage! What's also really nice about this figure is here, I kind of wish it did have double jointed elbows. However, posing him with the card and the dual disc, they actually did a really good job of making sure that you can put it either on the dual disc or, God, I hate this stand system sometimes, or like make it look like he's pulling it from the deck. And unfortunately, you can't really put it on the other side of the dual disc. You know, he's not, I don't know, not that posable, but you can play with it really well. Like, you can try and make it look like he's trying to put a card inside there. It's not 100% beautiful looking, but you can pose it like that and it looks great. Even though it's not too accurate to the anime. Whatever. I'm rambling. It looks good. Looks good. 7 out of 10. So overall, what are my thoughts on this figure? To be honest, this is one of my new favorite Figmas. I absolutely love this thing. It does have flaws, like trying to replace the forearm to put the dual disc on. That can be a hassle, and the fact that the cards don't stay into the hands it's not too great. And depending on your lighting, the eyes are gonna look weird, but overall, this is seriously the best Figma, and it doesn't really stay onto the stand all that well. That I do not like at all. But yeah, seriously, this is my favorite Figma of all time, and I have quite a few, but yeah, this is my favorite of all time. And if you are a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you have to get this. And it also would look really great with the new Revoltech, Yugi, and Kaiba for the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie. And you gotta have Dark Magician and a new Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon. Also, one more thing, I think he should have came with a shouting face, because it'll make this pose in particular look so much better. But anyway, that concludes my review for this figure. Overall, I think this is a must-own. You gotta pick this figure up if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and if you love Figma, and if you have the slightest bit of interest in Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll absolutely love this figure. This is absolutely amazing. You gotta pick it up. And if you're new and you like what you saw, then like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, are you picking this figure up? And did this review help you a little bit on deciding to pick this up? If you are going to pick this up, I do highly recommend picking it up from Yami, because it is the cheapest place to get it from. They're not paying me to say that. This is one figure collector to another saying that that's the best way to get it. And they do have an unregistered SAL shipping option you could do. You are going to wait a while to get the figure, but it is the cheapest option, and that's the best way I could recommend this figure. Pick it up. It's absolutely great, and I do not regret buying this. Like, this is I love it. I almost love it as much as my Nendoroid Sonic. This is my favorite Figma of all time, and I'm gonna start rambling a lot more, so I gotta go. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And most importantly, tell me in the comments, are you picking this figure up? If you want, I'll post a link in the description on places where you can pick this figure up. And I'll see you guys in the next one.